Hello everyone and welcome to the Music Biz channel. I'm your host James Shotwell and I have so many cool things to tell you today. First up, before we even get to today's interview, I need to tell you about Spotify. Not as a sponsor, but as some cool news that you may not be aware of. So a few months ago, we put our popular podcast, Inside Music, to rest. But we left the channel feeds alive on all podcast platforms for anyone that wanted to listen to the show. Well, this March, Spotify sent us an email asking us if we would like to start a video podcast on that same feed. And you know what we thought? Why not bring Music Biz into the Spotify space? So if you like consuming podcasts on Spotify, if you like watching video podcasts, guess what? Music Biz is now a video podcast on Spotify. Starting next week, the first full week of April, you will be able to find our show on Spotify and watch every update, including some classic episodes, week to week, just like you would here on YouTube. And the best part is, if you subscribe on Spotify, it will give you a weekly alert every time that we drop a new video. And if you want to go back through the catalog of interviews that we've done over the last 5 or 6 years, those are there as well. So technically, there's already 230 plus episodes waiting for you, and there are hundreds more to come thanks to this new innovation. Okay, now that we have that announcement out of the way, I want to tell you about today's guest. In the latest Fast 5 interview segment, I am talking with my friends from A&PReacts. Now, if you're unfamiliar, A&PReacts is a YouTube channel where a father and son team review new metal albums. And I'm not just talking about the big stuff like Meshuggah or Tool. I'm talking about the small, niche European metal bands that most people in the States have probably never heard of. And some may think that covering niche, obscure bands is a bad recipe for success, but A&P's numbers do not lie. After only a few years in existence, their channel has over 75,000 subscribers, with many more joining every single week, including us. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to them. But right now, I'm going to chat with my friend Pedro from A&PReacts about how they built their YouTube empire. Enjoy. Okay, so we're going to put 5 minutes on the clock right now, and let's begin. All right, first question, my favorite question to ask. What made you start a YouTube channel?
My son, simple. I just wanted to connect with him, and I thought that metal music would be the best way to connect with him, help him as it helped me through my youth. So to make a really long story really short, was really him. He was the catalyst.
Now, I watch a lot of people react to stuff on YouTube, and metal is not the most popular genre in music, but you guys have built a very healthy following during your time. What do you think is the key to growing a reaction channel like yours?
I have no clue, to be honest with you. I don't know how people watch our videos, because I think sometimes they're super cringy, and I think the perhaps is because it's a natural vibe. We don't edit. If you see our videos, we press record at the beginning of the video and we play out the whole thing, and we don't edit, we don't cut it, we don't try to make it perhaps more appealing from that perspective. But that organic vibe, that in the moment vibe, I think maybe is something that attracts people, and it gives you a little bit of a voyeuristic view, that you're getting an unedited feel of how somebody else is, not only reacting, but digesting the music in general.
I'm always curious when people realized that what they were doing was starting to work. So you guys have tens of thousands of subscribers at this point. Was there a time early on in the first few thousand where you guys kind of looked at each other like, this might actually be something, or did that not come for a long time?
It's funny because my son was like, if we get 100 subscribers, we started the channel in June, and he's like, if we get 100 by September, it'll be amazing. We got 100 like in less than a week. And then he's like, oh, if we get 1,000 by Christmas, is amazing. We got 1,000 like in 2 weeks. So it was always like, the goals that we kind of set for ourselves were coming so quickly and so fast that we never really took the time to see, because we don't really look at our settings or our analytics to see what's working, what's not working. We don't want our channel to be dictated by that, because we don't monetize anyway. So it's not like we're making money off of it. So it doesn't really matter. We want it to be as organic as possible, and check out the bands that we want to check out, do what we want to do, and not do it for somebody else or for whatever other reasons.
Has there been a release where putting out the video did like an impressive amount of traffic, where like you were impressed at how many people came to listen to you talk about a specific album?
Wow, that's interesting. I think the video that surprised me the most from a reaction perspective is probably Bed Wolves, which is our highest viewed video of all time for the song Zombie. I wasn't expecting that video to be as popular as it became. From the feedback, I think it's because of the dynamic father-son talking about such an interesting topic, talking about that song. But as far as album reviews, perhaps the biggest surprise was 6 Feet Under, their latest release. I mean, it was not a positive review by no means. but I think people love a good train wreck. So they just came in to see me shitting on the album, which I don't do very often. I try not to, but that album was nearly impossible to find anything positive whatsoever.
Now that you're this far along, do you guys have conversations about where you go from here? So I know that you guys recently got asked to be part of the Wacken Battle of the Bands as judges, but your profile is obviously rising. So where does A&PReacts go from here?
We definitely want to continue doing what we're doing. We have fun doing it, and that's the main reason why we're doing it. It's perhaps going to be a little bit more hectic once my son starts college in September, but we're going to try to make it work. Maybe we won't put out as much content as we do now, but we will continue to do so. But I think if you ask both of us what we would really like to do, I think we would like to get involved more in vlogging, working with festivals, doing coverage for festivals, interviewing bands, interviewing fans, walking backstage, doing that kind of almost live stream, if you will, that I think it's the future of a lot of festivals. I think the pandemic taught us that. There's a lot of people that are not always going to be able to travel to festivals, but I think the festivals can create a side revenue by bringing the festival to the people. So if somehow we can find a niche in that market, I think it would be great. We have great relationships with the bands, and I think that really helps to make them feel more comfortable to open up. And I think we can get them to talk about things that not necessarily other journalists can do because of the more laid back atmosphere that we provide.
I love that. Now, last quote. We only have 35 more seconds here, so let me try to get this out. But you guys have done a really good job of these stream of consciousness videos. I love watching a father-son dynamic. I'm sure people ask you, what's the secret to a great video? And you guys do like such a simple video that I feel like you probably have a good answer. So what do you think it is? What do you think it is that makes people watch the video?
Dick and fart jokes.
Perfect final answer.
People come for the music, but they definitely stay for the dick and fart jokes.
I love it. 5 seconds to spare, and you absolutely nailed it. Thank you so much. You did a great job. Everyone, go check out the A&PReacts channel. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you for taking the time.
That was a pretty great conversation, right? I want to thank my friends at A&PReacts for participating, and I want to again encourage you to go subscribe to their channel. Once again, Music Biz is now on Spotify, so if you don't always come to YouTube or you feel like you're missing our content, head over to Spotify, search Music Biz Podcast. You'll see my face, you'll see this episode, and you'll have a chance to follow us there as well. I'll be back very soon with even more content for you to enjoy, but until then, please take care of yourself because you deserve it.